What's up? My name is Carl Fredriksson and I am hopefully your partner. I'm doing this video with no script or anything, so please bear with me. And I'm also doing this video because I want to show you what I'm trying to do here, and I want to make sure that you see that before you accept this my request. So I'm gonna change to this mode, and then we're gonna jump right into it. Because here's the thing, like I do know some programming myself, but I do know I know my limits, so to speak. So I'm at a play. That's why I need your help. So I'm gonna start showing. I'm doing a 2D Metrovania game. So we start with what I want you to do is, here's the open world if you want. This is basically the world, and we have. So a friend of mine, he told me to cut this up in 1,000 times 1,000 pixels. If you have a better advice, that's great. That's what he told me, and that's what I did in my early build, which is completely unplayable at this point. Thus, I need your help. And so what we have here is basically, I will zoom in here and show you. So this is the world, right? And these are layers. So if you know what, you should know this. But for example, when Knife Boy, the main character here, when he jumps into this building, he will come inside, right? And this layer will fade out, and then you can continue jumping here, and as he exits it fades back and he continues. And some areas like here, for example, he's just running behind them, right? So that's something to keep in mind, layers like that. And of course in the background here you will have the separate layers as well. So you have the sky, and you have that one in the background there, and this one. So they move in different pace. Now these ones are not finished yet. I'm gonna make them more beautiful, but at this point that's what we will use, and later on I assume we can swap them if I save them with the same names, so we can swap them easily. And another thing I wanted to show with the world, the way I did it before, I've used these. So that's for example, Knife Boy, where is it there? So these red lines, that's collision boxes, so he can't fall through here. He stops on these basically, and I think you understand what I'm talking about here. So when it's actually playing, it will stop on the red one. Now if you have a better advice or better idea how to do it, I'm all ears, but that's how I did my first build, so it worked fine, but sometimes it gets a little bit tricky. But again, I'm not pro programmer, so that's that. Each level is, for example, I will explain more to you. This is not the whole game. You have the whole, you can for example walk in here. I'm also gonna show another thing. One of the levels are in here, so you run in here. I'll give you Knife Boy. So Knife Boy is coming in here, and then it fades out. As you can see, that wall doesn't go all the way, but by the time he's somewhere here, it fades out and the actual level starts here. That's the level. He comes out in this corner, right? And this is one of the levels. This is a tutorial level, so yeah, that's a simple level. So this is basically the open world area, and then you have the here's the back side. So as you can see, these are the two mountains you saw here, these two, and to get there you enter this forest here, and then you will end up here, and then you have the backside world here. So that's also, keep that in mind. There's a lot of rooms to enter, and like there's a bar where you can buy stuff, and here's a sleeping thing. You can sleep in day and night cycles, which I will show in a minute. What else did I want to show? So yeah, there will be NPCs around the world. These have very simple animations. I will show one later. There will be, each enemy will have a different face. So basically they will have basically the same shape, but the face will look different. So that's something to keep in mind too. So if you make one enemy, keep that in mind, that you should be able to just swap his face and it will be 2 enemies, and swap only the face and it's 3 enemies. I guess that will be on my point when I do the animations, but I'm sure we can sort that out. So I'm gonna close that one, and we're done here. Yeah, and another thing, Knife Boy can swap his knives. There will be about 5 or 6 weapons in total, and I'm also looking for a script for this, so we can have dialogue boxes. So you have different, from like when you take side quests and all that, so you can talk to people in the world like that. And we have items. So up here here is Knife Boy's stamina and his health bar and the weapon he's currently possessing, and also the items he's using. So I will show you, for example, when you swap your weapon, it's gonna look something like this. So that blade will rotate, and that's the second blade, right? And then this third blade, so this is a gun blade, he can shoot with that one. Looks like that. So that's the bullets for that one. So yeah, there's slight RPG elements to this game. Okay, so I showed you that, and I showed you that, and that's the world. So yeah, so I'm using Sprinter for the animations. Let me show you this one. So I put this game up on Steam Greenlight and asked for feedback, and they thought the animations were stiff, so I rebuilt the animations. I'm just about to finish that. I'm almost done with that. So that's Knife Boy when he's blocking and grabbing in air, standing still, kicking, fight, boost. He has this is when he's jumping, and this is when he's falling down. Steam jump. I will add some extra details for these. Wall sit, and here's when he's getting hurt by enemies. And I also want, yeah, so that's what I need help with, to do all his animation, like, yeah, a functional game obviously, but also I want to throw in some enemies in this demo. So that's this enemy here. He has less animations, but yeah, basically that's it. And so basically everything is prepared. I just need someone to put the pieces together, right? I have one more enemy I want in this demo. Oh well, this is an NPC. So very simple animations like that. And we have one more. Open project, animations. This one. Now I don't know which one to. I just pick one. See which one it is. Yeah, this is also one of the enemies I want in this demo. So basically the demo is the first step. Yeah, so that's his animations there. So now I'm done showing that, and I'm gonna show you the trailer so you can see sort of what to expect. Yeah, there's some parkour in the game. So this, yeah, and you can grab enemies and throw them like that. Day and night cycle, as I mentioned before. So the whole world, I'm gonna remake the whole world in nighttime. Collectibles, this is like a dialogue tree, and like yeah, you can basically teleport yourself to different areas. Collectibles. Yeah, that's how he stays overnight. And this too, something we're gonna look into later on. As you explore the world, it's getting bit by bit. This map will be complete eventually, but bit by bit you can see where you have been and not been. There's a bar where you can just go and listen to music and stuff like that. There are some side quests. This is one when you go to, yeah. And let me show you this too. This is some important parts. So life bars for the enemies, obviously, and he has an overdrive here. And this guy, now he's just using the gun, so he throws the enemy up in the air and then he shoots it like that. And there's a boss, and that's when you just fighting. So yeah, and yeah, that's that. And one of the games I've been inspired by is this Guacamelee. So I want these sort of tight controllers with parkour when you're jumping around and all that. So that's why I haven't designed the actual levels yet, because I want to know how the game feels. And when we're satisfied with that, I can keep that in mind. And that's when, for example, if you have 2 blocks like that, and Knife Boy, if I design a level and you have 2 blocks like that, and Knife Boy can only jump halfway, we have to go back and redesign the level to move that block over so he can jump over, right? So I want to have an idea on how it feels, and when we're satisfied with the feeling of the controller, I can start like designing the levels. A lot of talking, and also something I want to mention is later on. So I do Twitch streaming, and I have not a huge audience, but a small audience. It's growing, so that's why I want to make a demo for this game, and then I will show that for everyone, and hopefully people will be interested, because later on I want to try a Kickstarter. So if we can make a successful Kickstarter, we can obviously that means a bonus for you, but it also means that maybe I can hire one more freelancer, because I do want to have 2-player mode. This is the 2nd player, but that will be something later on. I think it's right now we should focus on 1 player and just make it a functional game. I'm sorry I went on and I basically explained the whole game, but basically what I want, the first milestone I want us to achieve is basically this, make this playable so you can run around here. So we need to tile this whole thing, and then put out the red blocks where, well, the collision boxes basically, where you can walk and not walk, and also animate Knife Boy, like make him playable, and 1 enemy type. I think that's a doable goal. So yeah, I think that's it. If you're up for it, if you think you can do it, please let me know. And I think this can be very successful, and I think it's gonna be great for both of us. And I do want to keep open dialogue throughout the process, and hopefully this will be a long-term thing.